If you are in the real estate space to any capacity, you have likely heard the term revenue share being thrown out there, and you may be wondering, like I once was, what does that even mean? Or maybe like I also once was, you have a wrong misconception. You think of it as one thing and it's maybe not exactly what you're thinking. So we're going to just have a full discussion. This is something I truly believe all real estate agents need to know about. So be sure to stay tuned until the very end today. You are not going to want to miss anything today. We are going to have a full discussion on what is revenue share. And especially at the very end, we will actually go into something I think is very important for agents to know. What is revenue share at Real Broker? Because this differs from the way that revenue share works at other companies that you may have already, heard about revenue share at, if that makes sense. There are some very key ways that revenue share is different at Real Broker. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Mariah, and I'm a real estate agent in the beautiful state of Oregon. If you have a client relocating to or just needing a real estate agent in Oregon, feel free to send them my way. We'd love to help you, give you a referral fee, and take great care of your people. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell because we come on here every single week with new uploads on this channel. Okay, so let's just get right into it, you guys. What is revenue share? Revenue share, in essence, Real Broker decided that instead of having these huge marketing fees, or I guess you could say like a huge marketing fund pot that they're going to spend from, you could say they don't do that. They're not advertising on the Super Bowl. They're not having these huge, spendy advertisements like many brokerages do, because they think the best way to grow is through word of mouth, agent collaboration. And so because of that, they also have decided to take a portion of every agent's cap, which we'll get into this in just a sec if you're like, what does that mean? They take a portion, 5% of the 15% cap, and give it back to the agents at their company to say thank you for growing the company. So what the heck does that mean? Every agent that joins Real Broker has the same split and cap, unless you're with a team, which we're not going to get into what that would look like today. However, if you are a solo agent, you have a 85-15 split until you cap. That means that you get 85% of, your commissions. Real Broker gets 15% of your commission. And then once you cap, which it is a $12,000 a year cap, once you do reach that $12,000 a year cap, you keep 100% of your commission and you don't pay that split anymore. Now, that we all know, if you're in the real estate world, that is an extremely desirable commission setup. That's a very generous commission split, commission cap, low cap, that type of thing. Out of that 15% split that goes to the brokerage no matter what until you cap, 5% of it goes to your sponsor until you cap. So once you cap, your sponsor doesn't make any money from you. I've had agents ask me, what if I just decide not to have a sponsor when I join Real Broker? Can I save some money? No, it doesn't work that way. This money is not like the money that your sponsor gets paid is not separate from the money that your sponsor gets paid is not separate from your cap. It's not like taken out on top of it. It is part of your cap. So you are going to be paying it to Real Broker no matter what. Everybody pays the same split. Okay, so that is where the money comes from, and that is why Real Broker decided to reward their agents. There are a lot of benefits to this model. There are benefits to the agent who joins. There are benefits to the agent who joins and has the sponsor. There are benefits to the brokerage, and there are benefits to the agent who is the sponsor. So let's talk about that for a second before we get into more of the nitty-gritty details of this that I know you're wanting to know. So for the agent who joins, there are benefits because you join the company and you automatically know somebody at the brokerage. You automatically have somebody's number that you can call, text, email when you have questions. Now, I will get into this later. There are rules about what we can and cannot do as a sponsor, which I will talk about towards the end of the video. But I'm just going to say for now, I know for me as somebody who does have a network of agents that I sponsor at this company that I'm so grateful to get to know and be in relationship with. Some of them, they just name me as their sponsor because I'm the first person that they heard about Real from. And that's typically one of the, I guess, definitions of a sponsor is the first person you hear about the company from. And others, they want to gain wisdom from my experience in real estate and what in my business. They see that I do a lot of video marketing. That's how I get my clients. It's been successful for me in my business, and they want to know, how do you do that? What are ways I can do this? Or they see that I've built a network and they want to build a network. So they want to be able to ask me questions about that. Or they see that I, got my real estate license at 18, right out of high school, and they're young as well. And they want advice for this. And now the thing is, I would never be like, if I'm not your sponsor, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to answer your questions. However, when an agent joins me at this brokerage and names me as their sponsor, I then have a vested interest in their success at the company. So of course, I'm going to be getting back to you in 24 business hours. I'm happy to answer your questions. I don't know everything, but I'm happy to point you into the right direction as much as I possibly can. So that's a little bit about that as a sponsor. I am very frequently emailing the agents that I sponsor. Some of them I never really hear from, and that's fine. I hope that they are doing well. I'll reach out every now and then, but generally they're just kind of like doing their own thing and they don't need help. Many of them sell more houses than me. They're more experienced than me, and they don't need the help from a sponsor. But I'm happy to sponsor them anyway. But some of them, they are maybe newer agents, or they're newer to video marketing or whatever that is. And they're, agents that I get to be in communication with. I get to email, and they get to email me, and I email them back, answering their questions, pointing them in the right direction however I can, whenever possible. And I am so very happy to get to be in relationship with other agents, because I would do it anyway. Like I said, this is not something where it's like, oh, if you aren't in my network, I'm not going to help you. I would totally do it anyway, and I did for a long time, but getting to be paid residually on top of that is a very, very is a very amazing thing. However, that is just a benefit to the agent that joins me, or anyone at this company that they name their sponsor. They have, just another person in their pocket to call on when they need help, when they have questions about something, when they want to inquire about something. They just have another person cheering them on and in their real estate world. That's one of the benefits to the sponsee. Now, the benefit of RevShare to Real Broker is that it creates agent retention. Imagine if you're making $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month, even an extra $1,000 a month from revenue share from your network at Real Broker. If you leave the company, obviously you're not going to be making that anymore. So it helps with agent retention. Agents are not going to be, if you are building any kind of network, obviously you're not going to be brokerage hopping. You're going to stay at this brokerage because you've got a pretty big incentive to do so. You also get a pretty generous amount of free stock given to you from Real Broker stock. So you get this stock given to you in a rapidly growing company that is a very good thing. Every time you attract an agent to the company, when they sell their first house with the company, you get free stock. Like, there's a good handful of ways and times that Real Broker gives their agent free stock, gives their agents free stock, whether they're attracting agents or not. This is certainly not something they push on their agents. The high majority of agents at Real Broker do not attract anybody to their network or care to. They just want to sell houses at a high level and do it really well. And that is extremely fine too. But there's a good handful of ways that Real Broker rewards their agents, whether they are participating in revenue share and attracting agents, or if they are just selling houses. They give them free stock. And that's another thing that helps with agent retention at the company, because say you're given free stock from the company, there's certain instances where they have to sit for 1 year. They have like a 1 year vesting period. Then you can liquidate it and take it out, use it for a down payment for another house, depending on how much you have, or take a vacation, whatever you want to do with it. Or some of the stock, it's on a 3-year hold. So it just depends on what it's given for, I think. However, that's another thing that I believe really helps with agent retention, because if you have, $50,000 in stock at your company that you can liquidate next year, you're not going to leave the company. You're going to want to stay at the company. Revenue share benefits the person who's being sponsored. Revenue share benefits the brokerage because of agent retention, and revenue share benefits the person who is the sponsor. Well, you get to give back and help other agents, which is something, like I said multiple times now, you should do or be willing to do, whether you are sponsoring somebody or not. That's something I've always done in my career, is have real estate connections and relationships with and conversations with other agents all over, whether I'm helping them or they're helping me. It's something I've always loved doing. So getting paid to do that is just phenomenal. And I know this is something that has been life-changing for many, many agents. I know for me personally, knowing that I get a paycheck every month from revenue share, whether I end up selling or closing on a house or not that month, is a very amazing feeling. Real Broker offers a 5-tier revenue share program where agents earn a percentage of the commission revenue generated by agents they sponsor into the company. The structure is as follows. Tier 1, you get 5% of their commissions until they cap. All of this is until they cap. Tier 2, 4%. Tier 3, 3%. Tier 4, 2%. Tier 5, 1%. These percentages are drawn from the 15% commission split that agents pay to Real Broker until they reach their $12,000 annual cap. To unlock each tier, agents must have a certain number of producing agents in their direct sponsorship line. That means you're tier 1. Okay. A producing agent is defined as someone who has contributed at least $450 in the company over the past 6 months, typically through closed deals or referrals. So if you sponsor an agent and they never sell a single house, then obviously you don't make anything. To unlock tier 2, you need 10 producing agents in your front line. To unlock tier 3, 15 producing agents. To unlock tier 4, 20 producing agents. To unlock tier 5, you need 25 producing agents in your front line. What is a sponsor according to Real Broker? In Real Broker's context, a sponsor is the agent who introduces a new agent to the company and is listed as their sponsor on the ICA, the Independent Contractor Agreement. So if you would like me to be your sponsor, usually what happens is you shoot me an email. My email is in the description below, and you say you would like to set up a Zoom call with me and chat more about Real Broker, or we can do phone calls too. I love seeing you guys face to face and actually getting to put a face to your name. But if you prefer, phone call, that's fine too. But you shoot me an email. We set up either a phone or a Zoom call. We talk about the next steps, or if you're not so serious yet, you don't know if it's the right fit for you or not, we just kind of have a conversation about it, get your questions answered. Absolutely no pressure, no strings attached whatsoever. Just a little bit of a conversation to see if it might be a good fit for you or not. Get to know you a little bit, that kind of thing, which I totally love doing. I do Zoom calls and phone calls with agents who are considering switching to Real Broker all the time. If that's you, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to set up a call with you as well. Sometimes agents don't set up a call with me. They will literally just name me as their sponsor, which you can do that. But I love talking to you. I love getting to talk to you guys first and put some sort of face to your name, some sort of communication, that kind of thing is really fun for me. By doing that, you put my name, Mariah Crawford, on your independent contractor agreement, and you can use my link in the description below to sign up for Real as well. The sponsor is eligible to receive revenue share from the new agent's production. Agents can choose 1 or 2 sponsors, and this designation is permanent. It cannot be changed after submission. Agent attraction rules. Okay, so there are some things about agent attraction at this brokerage that are different than agent attraction at other brokerages you may have seen that I love, that I'm really grateful for. This is actually something that really drew me to Real in the first place. And one of the reasons I chose Real instead of any other brokerage that offers revenue share. Let's talk about these things. If you are doing agent attraction, you are not allowed to offer or promise anything of value, such as leads, coaching, an office space, in exchange for being named a sponsor. We all know other brokerages that do this. We cannot say, well, I can have a vested interest in your success at the company, and I will. I'm happy. It's definitely more of I'm not your coach. I can't be your coach, but you can reach out to me anytime and I will never get annoyed with you. I genuinely love agents. I have a really big spot in my heart for real estate agents. I always have. They're my favorite kind of people. And I love getting to know agents all over the US and Canada. So you can reach out to me whenever. I never get annoyed with you, and I'm always happy to help or point you in the right direction however possible. So yes, I can help in that way. I can have a vested interest in your success at the company. I just had an agent who asked me to do an agent accountability Zoom call that has been in my network for a while, and we just did that last week. However, I cannot say, if you join me, I'm going to coach you every week. I'm going to give you a free mastermind just for the agents in my downline every week. I can't do that. However, I don't think you're missing out on that value at all, because you might say, well, I could join so-and-so over at EXP and he offers me an exclusive mastermind for agents in his downline every week. However, here at Real Broker, we have 5 to 6 maybe or so masterminds happening every single day of the week, every weekday that you can join live, ask questions. Those agents can literally be your mentors as well, even if they're not your sponsors. And the agents that teach these masterminds are making a lot of money in real estate. Is it a pretty high threshold or high, I don't know what the right word is, high starting point in order to be what's called an elite agent. There are agents making millions of dollars a year in real estate sales teaching in the Real Academy. That's who you get to have do the mastermind. That's way better than so-and-so at EXP doing his like little downline mastermind. You know what I mean? Every week you get access to all of the masterminds. You are not missing out on that. Okay. So I cannot do that though. I cannot say, I'm going to give you my leads. Other thing that I'm not allowed to do to sponsor agents or to attract agents to this company, Real Broker, is use a third-party recruiting service or create advertisements solely for agent attraction. I can't cold call. I can't have somebody cold calling for me. Randomly cold calling, cold messaging agents. I can't put out ads for agents to join Real Broker or whatever, which all of those things are reasons why I like this brokerage so much, because the culture is so different. It truly is so different from other brokerages that, you know, maybe don't have these rules in place. I cannot organize an event primarily for recruiting without written approval. I can't cold call, mass text, or send unsolicited emails to potential recruits. Thank goodness. I've always hated when I get those emails from agents. However, here's what I can do and what you can do too if you want to attract agents to Real Broker as well. I can invite potential recruits to company training events. I can share personal success stories and company announcements on social media. I do these videos and I share what's working for me at Real. I share why I like Real, all from my personal experience. I share why I personally joined. I share from my personal experience. That is the most powerful thing I think you can do when it comes to agent attraction. Sharing your own personal success stories. And I can discuss the company's core values. These guidelines aim to maintain a respectful and professional environment, distinguishing Real Broker's approach from other models like eXp Realty, which have different policies regarding agent attraction and recruitment. And honestly, at the end of the day, the way that I think about agent attraction and just Real Broker is we always hear this motto at Real Broker, one Real, where they don't want to create silos. Like, we're not allowed to create a silo. You know, they want everyone to be willing to help everyone. And I've found that to be very true. I've reached out to agents at this brokerage for various reasons in other markets who are not my sponsors, and they've always been willing to help me. And that's the culture they want to have here. And agents that I don't sponsor reach out to me, and I'm happy to help as well. Another motto you hear at Real Broker as well is it's agents helping agents. And that really is the culture. The culture is a huge reason I see people joining Real. And I think that the way that they approach revenue share really fosters that like agents helping agents collaboration style thing, because I don't come on here as a sponsor thinking I'm like, I don't know what to say, like ahead of you, better than you. Yes, there's a lot of agents that join me that are new. And so obviously I have more years of experience in real estate. I've sold more houses than them, but I'm not coming over here as like the expert. There's agents and there's plenty of agents in my network that I could learn from too. It's not, I don't think of it as that. And I don't want it to be that type of thing. It's not like I'm your mentor. I don't want it to be or feel like that, if that makes sense. If you join me in my network, I'm not any better than you. I'm not a better agent than you by any means. Like, I don't think of it like that. So before we end, I want to share some numbers of what this could look like to hopefully inspire you, because I think a lot of people think of revenue share and they don't realize how legit of a thing it is. Yes, it's work. Yes, you have to work at it. I say passive income, it becomes more passive over time, but you do put in the work. You are doing the things that it takes to attract agents, agents find you or find them or whatever. You are having Zoom calls with agents to talk about the brokerage when they, are figuring out how to join. You're being a helpful resource when agents reach out to you. Like, it is work. It's not like completely passive, but it can be done remotely, which is a very, very lovely thing, especially for someone like me who likes to get out of here because I live in Oregon and it rains too much here. Say you have 5 capping agents on your tier 1. That would be $20,000 $20,000 extra a year. 25 agents on your tier 1 is an extra $100,000 a year passively. And 125 agents on your tier 2, that is an extra $400,000 a year passively. If we do the math and add like, okay, what would it look like if we had this many agents on tier 1, this on tier 2, or even just sticking with tier 1, or we add all the different tiers. There's a lot of different like calculations that you can do. You can actually ask ChatGPT to do this for you if you want. Be like, hey, what would it look like if I had this for revenue share, for the revenue share model, and they will give you for Real Broker specifically. And ChatGPT will tell you the specific numbers in seconds. However, doing the math that it gave me, I just had to ask for a handful of examples. I mean, it goes up to like $12.5 million a year passively. Obviously, I'm not saying everyone or anyone is making $12.5 million a year passively from revenue share, but I just want you guys to know this is legit. This is a legit source of income, and it's a lifestyle. It is work, but it's definitely more in your own time, and what I love the most, in your own place, like remote, where you want to be, not stuck in one marketplace, I guess you could say, than selling real estate is, which is amazing. But obviously, if you're selling real estate, you're stuck in your market. So that's just a little bit about the revenue share model. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're an agent listening to this, what brokerage are you with? I'd love to hear in the comments. What market are you in? Let me know. I love chatting with you guys in the comments section. If you want to utilize this revenue share model, let's share some tips for that. Leverage social media, utilize platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok to share your success stories and benefits of joining Real Broker. I always say, like, start with you. Make it personal. Share why you joined, where you were before. Obviously, don't dog anyone. Don't say anything negative about other brokerages, but like, why did you join? What was appealing for it about you? That's the best place to start. You don't have to know everything there is to know, but there are great resources at Real Broker to teach you more about the model if you want to know. The Real Academy has really great resources for that. You can actually ask. You can literally email the support at Real Brokerage, Real Broker support, whatever it is. I think it's like support at realbrokerage.com, something like that. You can email Real Broker support and ask them to point you to the Real Broker revenue share pre-made training. And they will literally email you a link directly to it. They'll send you a link to like the modules. You can see all the different things you need to know. Like, you don't need to know everything, but there are tons of resources out there. Literally watch my YouTube videos about it. I have a playlist called Real Broker Explained. Go find that, or Real Brokerage Explained, I think it is. Go find that on my channel, and you can find out everything that you need to know about Real Broker, whether you are learning it because you're an agent, you want to talk to other agents about it and help them in their business because it's blessed you, or because you're thinking about joining Real yourself, or you're just curious. Go find that playlist and watch those videos. Those are just a couple of tips, I would say, the biggest things when it comes to beginning with this agent attraction journey. So I hope that this video blessed you. If it did, hit the thumbs up button. If it didn't, hit the thumbs down button. And I will see you guys next time.